Where was you born?
Shannon County, Missouri, up there at Eminence.
How long did you live in Eminence?
Well, I was born in the country, but we first moved to Eminence, and then we had to leave there on account of, see, that place, Mama's aunt, you know, I showed you that woman that raised Mama.
What was her name?
Nancy Stranger, you know. You took her picture. And so she raised Mama, and she had 40 acres of land and a big motel. And
Nancy Stranger that did?
Yeah, she did.
What was your mama's name?
Huh?
What was your mama's name?
What
was your mother's name?
Sarah Elizabeth.
What was her maiden name?
Purcell.
Did you know your grandparents?
Well, no, I never seen none of them.
What was your daddy's name?
Samuel Lewis Martin.
What did your mama look like?
Well, she's, didn't you see that picture standing up there between her uncle and aunt that raised her, and she's standing up there, Bet Scotty? Didn't you see it?
I didn't see that.
Well, she was a small woman.
How tall was she? The same height as you?
Oh, she's she's about the height of me. But,
what color hair did
see,
she
I
have?
used to be bigger than I am now. I fell away with nothing. But I used to be bigger. You see my picture was taken when my sister died and my sister-in-law. I was 11 years old.
What color hair did your mama have?
She had black hair.
What color hair did your daddy have?
Black hair. It's as curly-headed as it could be.
Where did you get your red hair from?
From his mother, my grandma.
You know what her name was?
Yeah, Julie
What was her last name?
Martin.
What was your grandpa Martin's name?
Huh?
Do you know your grandpa Martin?
Well, I think his name was Samuel Lewis. Daddy was named after him. I think that's the way it was.
What do you remember most about your mama and your daddy?
Well, I remember till they took Mama off and she died and I wasn't there. See, I didn't get to see Mama. They took her away from me and she was gone 2 years and I didn't even know where she's at nor nothing. She died and they didn't let me know it for 8 days after she was buried.
Where is she buried?
Huh?
Where is she buried?
Macy graveyard at, now wait, I'll get it right now. Macy graveyard at,
Monette?
Monette.
Monette, Arkansas?
My daddy was buried at the Leadenville, up close to Corning.
What year did your dad and mother die?
My mother died in, now wait, Mable was, now wait just a minute. Mable was about 2 years old when she died. She died the 28th day of January.
Okay.
1926? 28 when she died.
And what year did your daddy die?
He died in August in 1924. He died just a month before Mable was born.
What did your daddy do for a living?
Hmm?
What did your daddy do for a living?
Well, he worked. He applied for, he applied cotton drove a team and slide cotton, and after he come down to Arkansas, and then he went to working for the mayor of the town, Knoble, Arkansas. And he worked around just whatever they had him to do, just light work. Then, of course, Daddy was getting where he wasn't able to do nothing hard. But he died with a malarial fever.
When y'all lived at Eminence,
Huh?
where was your home at Eminence?
Do what?
Where was your home in Eminence?
Well, we lived up there at Eminence, my daddy and lived up there. That's when they had to see Mama. Andy passed away. That woman we called Aunt Nancy, we called her Andy. That's what she wanted us to call her. And she passed away. Well, Mama, she just went to nothing, The doctor told her, said, you better take her away or you're going to lose her. She laid 3 months, Mama did, worrying and grieving, and took sick over Andy. She laid 3 long months.
How old were you when she died?
5.
5 years old. That'd been about 1908.
Huh?
About 1908.
Yeah. We went and seen her grave here not too long ago. We all went up to Alice Springs and then come back and come down by West Eminence and come down by Eminence, and she's buried in the Eminence Cemetery, and we went over and seen her grave.
How long did you live in Eminence?
Well, just a minute. We left there when we moved there on account of Andy's. Will and Mama, that place, well, I was 5. And I left there when I was, I was 9.
That's when y'all moved to Knoble?
Huh?
You moved to Knoble?
No, we moved up in Bunker, Missouri. Do you know where Bunker's at? Well,
What?
you know where Ellington's at?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's up pretty close to Ellington.
What
That's
did y'all
Bunker.
What y'all
And
do
we
there?
moved to Bunker, and then they had us to move down to a camp. Daddy worked on the railroad then. And so they had us all, and my sister Ann, and Tommy and them, we all moved down there to a camp, and then we stayed down there a while, and then one time Daddy got up, and my brother Purcell lived at West Eminence, and he got up and he said to Mom, he called her Lizzie all the time. He said, Lizzie? Mom said, what? I said, would you like to go see Brother Purcell today? My brother, that's her son. And they said, yeah. And, I tickled to death to get to go too, So we got us a house down there and stayed down there at West Eminence. And then Mama, got down and had heart trouble, and so the doctor said to her, Daddy said, you'll have to better travel with her, and said that might help her. And well, we come to Noble then, and that's how come. Then I married your grandpa.
Could your daddy read?
Huh?
Could your dad read and write?
Did my daddy do what?
Read and write?
Leave.
No, read.
Read. No, my daddy couldn't read.
What about your mama?
Well, she could. She could write and read and nice, but Daddy never did get to.
Did you go to school?
I went, but I didn't get, just in the little grade, but I didn't get to learn nothing hardly. I had to quit and stay at home with Mama.
You read and write, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I don't write good now because I'm too old, but I can read and write.
How far did you go in school? About the 5th grade?
Yeah. But
That was a pretty good ways back then, though, didn't it?
yeah, you know, that was school them days. Now it's just house. Ain't that right? It's just a house now.
Is this a picture of the school that you went to?
No, I didn't go to that.
Who went to school here?
My brothers
What?
and my sisters,
Who were they?
Annie, and you know your Aunt Ann, and your Aunt Edie, and your Uncle Purcell, and your Uncle Ambers, and let's see, Purcell and Ambers and Edie and Annie. I reckon 4 of them went there.
Do you remember this school?
Oh yeah, I've seen that schoolhouse. You know where Alice Springs is at?
Mm-hmm.
They moved that schoolhouse up to Alice Springs.
It's there now?
Yeah, it's up at Alice Springs now.
Where did y'all go to church when you was a little kid?
Huh?
Where did you go to church?
At West Eminence,
What kind of church was it?
Pentecost, nothing else.
Do you remember any games that you used to play when you was little? Do you remember games?
Games. Oh yeah, drop the handkerchief and please or displease or play marbles or you did a Rose around Rosie or just a lot when I was a kid.
How did you play please or displease?
Well, they'll all get in a row, you know, and they'll come, knock, knock, come in, what it take to please you? And that one is not like I'm going to say, what it take to please you? Now you tell me something.
I want an apple.
Yeah.
An apple.
Huh?
An apple.
No, you've got to tell me what'll please you.
What'll please me?
See, I'll knock at your door. Now I'm going to knock at your door. Now you say, come in.
Come in.
And I'll say, what'll it take to please you? Please or displease, or what'll it take to please you? And if you're displeased, I'll have to walk on back. And if you're pleased, I'll say, what'll it take to please you? Now what's it going to take to please you? Make up something.
A piece of candy?
Well, then I'd go to another and do that.
Did you have any pets?
Huh?
Did you have any pets like pigs or mules?
Oh, we had horses, cattle, hogs, chickens, geese, guineas, and everything.
Did you have any dogs or cats?
Yeah, Daddy give me and Brother Lee a little calf, and we raised it to be up big, you know.
Did it have a name?
Yeah, and I named mine Frosty. She was kind of a, you know, red and white speckled like, you know how, and I named her Frosty. And Brother Lee named his Rosie. And so it come a big hailstorm one day, one evening. And my Frosty and Rosie didn't ever come in. And you want some more coffee? And they never come in. So me and Brother Lee, we get up on the side of our fence, you know, in our yard, and we call for our calf. She was grown, they was, and they didn't come in, so me and Brother Lee went to crying. We cried all night about our calf. And of course, kids liked, you know. And so then Daddy said, don't worry, children, said, I'm going to go in the morning and I'll find them. So when they went, well, the hailstorm, he killed them. Well, he said, I'll give them a hog then. Well, he gave us a hog. And so we raised them, and oh, they was pretty. You seen these big black hogs with white rings around their neck? And I had one, and Brother Lee had one. But we called them piggies. That's what we called them, piggies. And so we raised them from little up, you know. And you know, I told you about Bill Jackson marrying my sister Ada. Well, you know, them days they ship hogs and ship to St. Louis and get big money out of them. And he stole our 2 pigs and shipped them off. Well, there we was without nothing. So we moved to West Eminence then.
What did your house look like in Eminence?
Huh?
What did your house look like?
It was a big white house. You mean up there on Eminence where it was Wheeler-Mont? It was a big white house, 6 rooms this way. Oh, fine. And then there's 3 steps down. And then you come down, you know, and there's a hall. And then you come into the dining room, and there was a nice dining room. Oh, pretty. Then you come on into the kitchen, and there was a big kitchen. Nice kitchen where they cooked.
Have a fireplace in it?
Huh?
Have a fireplace?
Let me see, was there a fireplace? No, I think they had a stove.
Wood stove? Wood cook stove?
Oh, yeah. They had a big wood cook stove.
Is that house still standing?
I don't know, whether it is or not. And the cemetery was just right out. Here was the orchard. We had a big orchard out in our backyard. We had any kind of fruit. Then the land, you know, I said that they will, Mom and Dad, back down this way, and right down at the end of our field was the big river, Jack's Fork River, and that's where they'd have their picnics every picnic, you know, 4th of July, they'd have 3-day picnics down there.
What's the name of the cemetery?
No, wait. It was just Eminence Cemetery, I guess.
By your house?
Huh?
Near your house?
That's all I know. Just that
Wasn't Morton Cemetery, was it?
You know, it come a big storm, and it blowed nearly every bit of that cemetery away.
Who was your oldest brother or sister?
Annie was my oldest sister, and Ambrose was my oldest brother.
Who come after that?
Brother, see, here's Annie, and here's Ambrose. Well, here's Tristle, and here's Ada, and here's little Robert. I told you it died. My little brother died.
How old was he?
He wasn't quite 2 years old. I want to tell you something. He wasn't afraid, not afraid of one thing, nothing. And when Daddy'd go off, he'd ride a horse last time to go to Summersville. Well, he'd wait about time Daddy would get in. He wouldn't go to sleep. And when he thought Daddy'd come in, he'd go to that barn by his little cell. He'd go to that barn and stay with Dad till Dad come to the house. And so one night, he said, well, Mom, said, Dad's in. He went to the barn, and it was a man in Dad's crib stealing corn instead of Daddy being there. So little Robert just got the lock and locked him in. He locked him in. He was right, you know. He had a grown person knowledge more than he had a child. And he just went and locked him in. He'd come up to the house just as fast as his little legs would bring him. And he said, Mom? Mom said, what? He said, there's a man down there stealing Daddy's corn and I locked him in. Said, oh, honey, said, you didn't do that. Said, maybe you just dreamt that. And he said, I didn't either. Said, I didn't dream that. Said, I done it. And so when Daddy come in, well, Daddy, he brought some stuff that Mama had sent after. And he come to the gate, you know. And so Robert went out there and said, Dad? And Daddy said, what? He said, I locked a man in. He's stealing your corn. I locked him in. So Mama, she got up. She had on her gown. She got out of the house coat. Said, we'll go see. Got down there, and that man was sitting in there waiting for him to unlock. Daddy unlocked, and he said to this man, said, well, if you'd have come and asked me, said, I'd have give you a bushel of corn. Said, I'm honest and good. Said, I'd give you a bushel. Said, I don't want you to never come a stealing around anymore. But said, now when you get up against it, need some corn, said, just come and ask me. Now, Daddy was that good.
Who was your other brothers and sisters?
Well, this is Annie, this is Amber's, and this was Purcell, and this was Adie, and then this was little Robert, and then this Lee, and then me. 7 of us.
Did Anna marry?
Huh?
Annie marry?
She was married then. No, she went to that school. Didn't I see her picture?
Mm-hmm. Who did she marry?
Huh?
Who did she marry?
She married Tom Swires.
They were married a long time, weren't they?
Huh?
They stayed married a long time.
Yeah, they stayed. But I tell you what, they stayed married a long time, but when my sister gets sick, he'd run off and stay all winter off, and then he'd come stolen back in the spring. So one time he went off and she had a baby, she was giving birth to a baby, you know. And he ran off, and they lived up there on the, between West Eminence and Eminence up on a hill. And there's some churchy little houses up there, and they lived up there. So this baby was born, and so, well, he ran off. So my daddy and my mother and the doctor had delivered the baby. She had to have somebody. And so when they delivered the baby, well, Mama, Brother Ambrose, and Brother Purcell went and got my sister a lot of pretty clothes. He didn't buy her nothing. And they got her a lot of pretty clothes. And she was going to stay there with Dad and Mom. So she come to the gate one night. He said, Annie. Of course, Annie said, what? Said, I want you to go up the house with Mom. Wanted her to go over and live in the house with him and his mom and Dave, his brother Dave. Well, they took the baby over there, and the baby died. It got sick, and that old lady wouldn't allow no doctor. So they come and told Daddy and Mom about it being bad sick. So Daddy, they even put quilts up over the window, keep anybody from seeing it. And so Daddy, he just come and just slammed the door open. He said, you can't do that to me. And so the baby died.
What about your, where's Annie buried at?
Huh?
Where is Annie buried?
Annie, she's buried up at, now wait, let me get that. She's buried up there at Ellington. At the, now wait just a minute, now I'll find out the name. Brother Amber's is buried there, and Tom's buried there, and Annie's buried there, and it's, now wait just a minute, it's Polk Graveyard.
Polk Graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Was Ambrose married?
Hmm?
Was Ambrose married?
Married.
Ambrose?
Ambrose. Did he marry you? Yeah, he was married and had 1, 2, 3, 4, had about 5 kids, and then they separated. There's an old man that lived down on Shawnee, and he couldn't walk good. He dragged his legs. He was crippled. And she took up with him, and she'd have to help him on the horse if he wanted to go somewhere.
What was her name?
Marie.
Are
Marie
any of their children still living?
Yeah.
What are their names?
Well, Denver and Francis and of course that was gone. I said it went to the war and never did return. Jody, that was their oldest. And let me see, Francis. Well,
Where did Ambrose live?
huh?
Where did Ambrose live?
Where did he live? Eminence. And then he moved up there to Ellington. And he's lived with Annie and Tom up there till he died. They didn't even let me know when he's sick or when he died. They had him buried and I didn't know it.
You had a brother named Trestle?
Hmm?
You had a brother named Trestle?
Tristle, uh-huh.
Tell me about him.
Well, he was a nice man, and he worked hard, and he was a Christian. He lived a Christian life.
Where did he live?
Jadwin, Missouri.
What was his wife's name?
Oh, wait just a minute. Jessie.
Are both of them dead?
All of them's dead. I'm the only one living.
Does Trestle have any children?
Yeah, he had 3.
Any of them living? Are any of them alive?
So he had Clyde, Gloria, and Ando. And Ando died, Purcell died in April. The 1st of April. And then Ando took sick and died in 12 days after his daddy did. And then Clyde's 11, that's the one that sent me there.
Where did okay, you said they lived in what about Ada?
80.
80.
And she died. She left Lucille. That was the baby we raised at 2 months old. She died in 1917.
What happened to Ada?
Flu.
How old was she?
26.
Is her baby Lucille still living?
Oh yeah, she married a rich man.
Where does she live?
She lives at Salem, Missouri. You know where Salem's at? Well, that's where she lives.
What's Lucille's last name? Do you know?
Last name, Lucy Todd.
Lucille Todd?
Mm-hmm. T-O-double-E.
How old is she now?
Well, let's see, she's born in 19 and 17. Well, how old would she be?
She's 73 years old. 73?
Well, 72, did
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah.
Well, that might be her age.
What
She
about
had a little sister named Florence, and when Adie passed away, what she told me, she called me and said, "Sis," said, "I want you and Mama and Brother Lee and Daddy to raise Lucille." That was my 2-month-old baby. But said, "Now, Florence is 6 years old," and said, "Bill can take care of her because he won't want to give them both there." And so,
Is Florence still living?
oh yes, she lives at Salem.
You know her last name?
Terrell,
Terrell?
T-E-R-double, let's see, Terrell, T-E-R-R-E-double-L, Terrell. She didn't have no children.
What about your brother Lee?
Well, they didn't have no kids.
Who was he married to?
Huh?
Who'd he marry?
He married to Nathan Woodward.
Where'd they live?
Well, they lived all around, and they went to St. Louis and worked, and then they moved out on, out in the country, it's you call, out there, it was about an hour, or a little over about 2 hours drive. It, you know, from Salem to the country, they lived up there in the country.
And let's see.
And he died, and then she died.
He-
She ain't been dead long. Nathan.
He died about 5 years ago. Lee died 5 years ago.
About 4 years. And Nathan ain't been dead long. You know, I'm going to tell you something. What Jack said to me one day, he said, "Let's go and put a flower on Brother Lee's grave." You know, he was crazy about his Uncle Lee. And Lee was him. Oh, Lee just worshiped it. I said, okay. So, well, Carolyn and Jack and I got ready, and they took Lori's little boy, you know. So we were going along, and I was riding in front with Jack. I had to walk on that there cane I got right there. I had blood poison in my leg, and so I had to walk on that, with that. And I was riding in front, and so Carolyn and Baby was riding back. And it'd rain a little while, and then it'd clear up. Then it'd rain a little while, and then it'd clear up. Then it'd rain a little while, and then it'd clear up. Now, it done that all that day. And it come to awfully cloud. And that it was on this side of the clouds, you know. Oh, it was a bad cloud. And Brother, well, Jack said, "Mama," said, "look at there, what a bad cloud." I said, "Yeah," and I looked over this way to see, and we just in 3/4 of a mile of Farmington, where Brother Lee was buried. And Nathan wasn't dead then. And just in 3/4 of a mile. And there, there was a man in the cloud just peered up there in that cloud. It just seemed like he just wanted to get me like that. And I said, "Oh, look at there, man the cloud, man the cloud. Look, man the cloud." And they thought I meant over here, and they all looked that way. And he disappeared. And they come up and said that was Brother Lee appeared. Well, we got up there then, We put a grave, oh, we got the prettiest wreath. You seen here those big baskets. It wasn't no kind of cloth, no, it was, no, that old blue looking stuff. They meant it wasn't that, it was, that was that white, heavy white stuff. What's that? It's celluloid, looked like more like celluloid. And it was white, and that big wreath, all colors of flowers, all in that. That was the prettiest thing you ever laid your eyes on. And so we got that and put on Brother Lee's grave. And Nathan Sharon had wrote me and said they'd been decorating Brother Lee's grave. Well, when we got down there, they wasn't but 4 little old roses, and they had faded out, so down at the side. And that was the way they decorated it. Well, we put that on there. That was on Saturday. Well, on Sunday night, they had to put Nathan in the hospital. Monday morning, we was called early. Nathan had died to come at once. Now, that was how quick she died. And we went to her funeral.
When did you marry? When did you marry?
When did I marry? I married Joe, your grandpa Dollins, 1923.
When? What day?
October, the 13th day of October.
Where did you meet Joe?
Knoble.
Tell me how you met him.
Well, I never did know none of them, you know. And Annie and Tom, that's my sister. Well, we lived up here in this big white house. And Annie and Tom, they moved down there to run a motel. They had a motel down there. And they wanted us to, but Mama wasn't able. So Annie and Tom moved down there. Well, Annie and Tom knowed Joe about 4 years. All of them, know them all. His dad, Bill Dollins, that's you, and Joe, you know, and Dave, they had a brother Dave, and so Joe and Dave, and then he had a sister Pearl, and then he had a sister Mamie, then he had a sister Birdie. One, his baby sister was named Ethel. Ethel and Birdie. Ethel was 3 years old and Birdie was 5 when me and Joe got married. And oh, they just went crazy. They just went crazy over me, and they called me Sissy. And they just hugged me and just loved me. And I went in. I never seen no cotton in my life. Didn't know what cotton was. Well, they took me out and let me see the cotton blooms. And then when the cotton come on, picking, why then he'd have to take off a load of cotton. Like me and him, we got married, and he'd have to take off a load of cotton, and he'd take me with him. Because I'd never seen a gin. I never seen them how they done anything in cotton, nor nothing. And he took me with him. So one morning, we just married 2 weeks. Well, the day me and Joe got married, his brother Dave, he'd come out of the courthouse. He got married at Corning in the courthouse. And he come out of the courthouse, so Amos and Mamie was with us. We come out and met Dave. Dave was going in for something, and Dave said, "I'll just give you." He come and hugged me and said, "Well," said, "Sis, you're my sis now." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I'll just give you and Joe 2 weeks to live together till Ma and Mamie will have you separated." Well, we was just lived together just exactly 2 weeks till up come the bad trouble. He wanted me to go with him, and Mamie said, she come in there and said, "Where are you going?" Well, I went dressed then. My daddy kept me the finest clothes. I was the only girl at home. He kept me everything. And I was in there dressed, and I was fixing my hair and putting on junk, you know. I used that then. And so I was putting on powder and rouge and everything, and had my hair all curled. And my hair was curly, natural curly. And I could sit down on it. And it was just hung in curls all over. And I'd bring it back like this. I'd bring it up this way.
What color was your hair then?
Red. Well, it was gold. It wasn't red. It was gold. And I'd pull it down here and bring it up here. And then I'd bring it down and bring it over my ears and put a big ribbon back there. They all were, them days they wore big ribbons. And I put a big ribbon back there. And so she come in and said, "Where are you going?" And oh, she just cussed like a man, Mamie did. I wasn't living in that kind of a life.
How old was Mamie?
Cussing was.
How old was Mamie?
She was 14. And she come in, "Where in the hell are you going?" I said, "I'm going to go with Joe." "Why the hell can't you stay here and let me go?"
Zero. Call 1-800-421-2000.
And now back to Sands of the Kalahari on TNT.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. Every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
What a difference a bank makes when you're buying your dream home.
Buying a home is not something you do every day. So if you don't know an APR from an ARM, ask Union Planters. We're introducing home buyers centers in 14 of our branches. We'll answer your questions and then help you finance that dream.
What a difference a bank makes.
Union Planters. What a difference.
Common household pests like roaches and ants can easily invade your kitchen. They eat the same food you do, and they spread disease. Spiders and crickets seek the damp, out-of-the-way places that bathrooms provide. Don't let roaches, crickets, ants, or spiders spoil your food, eat your clothes, or even ruin your day. For over 50 years, Jameson Pest Control has served the Memphis community. Call us today for your free estimate. Don't let those insects bug you anymore.
See the Tigers fly. Season tickets as low as $48.
Next cigarette's coming from. Very sad.
Ah, I know this guy. He's been up in the Congo building bridges. Kicked him out for boozing. He's burning up. Heart's going about 100 miles an hour. Must be sunstroke, sure.
Yeah, the leg looks pretty bad, too.
Frankly, man, I don't know what to do.
I guess we're gonna have to carry him.
Can we?
Do not cry, Mrs. Monkton. It is a waste of good body moisture and precious salt.
I never had it put so practically before. Are we going to die?
Well, I don't know.
Perhaps we should go and look for them.
Maybe I'll have another try. Baboon!
What a terrible sound they make. Are they dangerous?
For us right now, they are a good sign. If there is baboon in this mountain, there is water too.
But are they dangerous?
These? Chances are they've never even seen people before, so we would look very big and dangerous to them. And we have this.
But if we didn't?
Well, if a leopard goes for a full-grown male baboon warrior, sometimes the leopard loses, and if there's more than one, usually he won't try. He prefers the little chaps.
Well, I hope they stay up there.
Look! Hello! 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 Get the water! What? Get the water! Is it not possible for you to rest?
I think the cold is killing him.
Yeah. It is nothing for the temperature to drop 50, even more degrees at night.
I'm so afraid. I think he'll die.
Put this over him.
But you?
I can stay by the fire. knife, please.
Yeah.
Summer melons.
Oh, they're marvelous.
Some bushmen never drink only from these melons.
It's marvelous. I've never tasted anything so good.
Not much food value, I'm afraid, but they have kept many creatures alive in the desert when there was nothing else.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Get the benefits of it! Come on in, this is nonsense! The water is fine!
Converted to water, Mr. May.
Oh, what I want now is one cigarette, one dry martini.
Make it two and I'll join you.
Return to Sands of the Kalahari.
Preseason NFL. The Bears meet the Cardinals Sunday at 8 Eastern on TNT.
It's summertime. Time to get out and get to the beach. And time for our grilled chicken sandwich at Wendy's.
Here's your grilled chicken sandwich, Dave.
Thank you. Made Dave's way, with a boneless breast of chicken, lettuce, tomato, and honey mustard, all on a toasted bun. It's a great way to enjoy the summer.
Hi. Hey, Dave, how about some volleyball?
Cool. Come in for a Wendy's grilled chicken sandwich today.
You sure this net's supposed to be this high?
Remember when comfort was king? When luxury really meant something? Well, it's all back in the all-new 1991 Buick Roadmaster Estate wagon. A wagon with the luxury of smooth, sure V8 power and the kind of versatility that's bound to be full of wonderful surprises. Roadmaster. It may be the most luxurious wagon in the world. From Buick, the new symbol for quality in America and beyond.
Spare me a second, Sam.
Remember,
Starters,
every time you breathe out,
and shipments aren't just slipping, they're slumping.
someone else may be breathing in. Try Breath Saver sugar-free mints with the core of confidence and share them.
On CNN tomorrow, questions about teens and sexuality. How much is too much to ask? The controversy over a new teen sex survey on Cryer & Company. Then on NewsHour, he's an artist and a politician. Larry Woods takes you across America for a visit with the mayor of Skunk Hollow. And when a child has a child, what it's like for teenage moms. A look at this growing problem on Sonia Live, all tomorrow on CNN.
In over half the homes across America, people rely on Kenmore appliances. And right now, the country's most popular brand of appliances on sale during America's greatest refrigerator sale at Sears Brand Central, where you'll save $210 on our 22 cubic foot side-by-side with ice, crushed ice, and water dispenser. Or save $85 on this huge 21 cubic foot Kenmore top mount, now at its lowest price ever.
For centuries, my mother's been nagging me about eating a good breakfast. Enough already. I'm doing it.
Having total?
Huh? What is this, the cereal police? No, grape nuts.
Hope you're hungry.
Why, shouldn't I be?
Well, you have to eat 4 bowls of grape nuts to get all the vitamins in 1 bowl of total.
4 bowls? Ma,
In fact, whole grain Total has 100% of a day's supply of 12 vitamins and minerals, plus calcium. And that takes a lot of grape nuts.
Ma, Total.
Total. One bowl, 100%.
This morning, they'll open for business,
Morning.
bringing you values on health and beauty products and household items. You can trust them for quality because they're all part of Value Right. And from morning till night,
Are we too late?
and occasionally a little later,
No, come on in.
they're here, taking you and your health care personally. Value Right.
Recapture freshness every day with Summer's Eve Feminine Wash. Relax. Its unique hypoallergenic formula cleanses without irritation. Redefine confidence.
Summer's Eve brings back freshness anytime.
And now, back to Sands of the Kalahari on TNT.
You think they have used this cave recently?
No. The last humans in this cave lived hundreds of years ago. I actually knew Bushmen when I was young. Wonderful tiny men, under 5 foot, the best hunters in the world. Fantastic when you think of it. Stone Age humans living in a world that is already exploring space with rockets.
If there were Bushmen about, maybe we could make contact. Get them to lead us out.
More likely to get a poisoned arrow in your backside, man. They're deadly.
No. They would avoid us. The reason they live in the desert is because our